start. We're down to the Stanley Cup finals between Dallas and Tampa Bay. So we're down to 4 from our Worcester Sharks, and you had a chance to coach 2 of those. Let's pinpoint these guys, and let's start off with an absolute stud, Joe Pavelski, and just a brief stint in Worcester and obviously right up to the NHL. He was, I'm sure, pretty fun to coach and pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, you know, Pav, it's fun because everyone talks, like, obviously have a really strong fond memories of Pav and still text him every now and again, and everyone talks about what a great tipper he was, and obviously he worked at it. You know, when he was with us, he was a rookie, and those were the foundation, like that was the start of his tips. We had a great veteran, Matthew Darch, that was a great net front guy on the power play that kind of took Pav and, was smart enough to want to play with Pav. But, talk to him about little things, about fattening his stick. You see Pav now, he has the widest blade he can have legally, longest blade he can have legally, so he can work that net front tips. But, just curious, just out there. I'm telling you, every single day, he was out there before. I was out there with a half hour before practice, after practice, every single day, put the work in. No surprise that he became the star that he is. And the same thing, I'm sure you're going to get to Yachty. Same thing with Yanni. Like, guys that you knew he was going to be a good player because of his compete, because of his work ethic. The top players in the league, they're not the top players by accident. They're not born the best players. Their work ethic is greater than the other guys. That's just what it comes down to. And I'm really proud of those guys, really proud to just be a small part of their development and to watch them play at the highest stage and to be, such impact players. That's the biggest thing, is they're not just along for the ride, they're impact players. They're big parts of what they do, their teams.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people knew that Pavelski was going to be that impact player and have such a long career in the NHL. But for Yanni Gourde, like you mentioned, a player who spent time, obviously, in the American Hockey League, but also spent time in the ECHL, and he's having quite the playoffs right now. I believe he's at 13 points in the first 22 games, and impact, the word that you used, and he's been a huge asset for this Tampa Bay Lightning team here as they look to be crowned champions.
Yeah, he really drives the engine. Like, he's that third line with him, Coleman and Goudreau. Like, those guys, they really set the tone. They come out, they set the pace of the game. They're not on their heels. They're not dipping their toe in it, as Roy would say. They're they're on their toes. They're playing hard. They're dictating the pace of the game, and they're going after it. And I tell you what, even Pav, Pav, there were question marks with Pav. There were a lot of people question his skating, question his size, question his strength. It's all these guys. It's to go through what I went through with those guys, and now to see the next group of guys that people question. Drew Callen's speed. They're questioning Russ Olsen's Ross's skating, and I've been through this before. So it's a part of the process. It's part of it. We just have to baby steps, and it'll be fun to watch the next group of guys to eventually play in the NHL Stanley Cup.